Good morning, everybody. It is another day. It is Thursday, August 10th, session 10 of my $1 million journey. My name is Edward James Carey. Welcome to Praxis Living, where I create content to help you create the life that you desire. In the words of Tony Robbins, he states, "See things as they are, not worse than they are." Step 2, see things differently than they are. Step 3, make things the way that you see them. And so that is what I'm going to primarily be spending today on doing. As you know, if you've been following along, the markets are down, share values are down. 100% of my trade capital is currently deployed in trades. And today I am waiting and watching to see what the result is. Stay tuned. Today is going to be an interesting day to see what happens. I will be back when the markets open shortly. Good morning, everybody. I'm back today. I'm ready to tackle another day. Thursday. Let's take a look at what's going on. Let's see of any updates. We are 2 minutes to market open on Thursday morning here. And if you remember correctly, yesterday I was down to just enough capital to buy 2 single shares of AI, which I bought yesterday at a value of $32.97. And so as you can see, what I've done is I've set up an automatic sell limit order for $33.80, which is 2.5%, which is what I'm going to wait on earning as a return on that investment. $32.97. I'm going to wait for $33.80 as a return before I do anything else at all. Also, I bought 100 shares yesterday, which were $35.46, and so I've put those on an automatic sell limit of $36.35, which is again 2.5%. Same thing with AMD. I've put my shares up for sale at 2.5%. I want to make 2.5 to 3% on these trades. I'm not going to try to get more than that right now. I just want to get a standard return on them so that I can hopefully unlock the capital and continue moving forward with my plans to keep multiplying my income. Now, as you can see, the market today in pre-market, I decided to hold my shares overnight last night. And unlike the day before, it looks as though I might come out in a decent starting position today at $33.45. We are at current value with shares of AI. I'm trying to get $33.80. Now, if the market opens and this spikes right up to $33.80, boom, I get my capital back and I can play again in today's session. Otherwise, I'm waiting until that event occurs. So stay tuned. We are down to just a few seconds before the market opens, and here we go. Ooh, shares opened on a green. For a second there, it looked like I might actually get out of that trade where I've got 2 shares. Very, very early in the morning. Again, I'm looking to see if we have any morning volume coming in, and we have a little bit, 500,000 shares, but it looks like people are still wanting to sell their positions. Let's just give it a few minutes. I think that I have a good chance of selling these 2 shares that I'm holding on to at a closing of $33.80. Hopefully within just a couple of minutes here. If we see the regular pattern occur where there is a drop followed by an increase in buying strength, it may get up to $33.80 and allow me a 2.5% return on my investment yesterday. Here we go. I'm watching. I'm waiting for the green. 33.37, 33.40, 33.50. Here we go. Keep going. 33.55, 56. Is it going to make it? downward buying pressure again. Is it going to make 33.80? 62, 65. Let's watch for the close. 66, come on, keep going. 75, 75, 76. Ooh, is it gonna make it? 4 more cents, come on. Oh, I think it touched 33.78 before it started to drop again. That was close. That was very close. Are you guys done for that round, or are you still going? 33.74. 33.70. I could have sold manually there, but I'm not in a hurry to get rid of these shares, you know? Just for 5 cents per share, I could have taken those off and tried to catch it manually. Here we go, 33.78. There we go. Patience paid off this time. I am closed out. Let's check that. I am closed out at 33.80. Okay, so 33.80, and I have a little bit of capital to continue my day. Let's see what that trade made me. That's 67.60 minus yesterday's purchase. Where is yesterday's purchase? I don't even see it. Oh, there we go. 65.74. So I made $1.86 on that trade. Now, again, considering that I only invested $65.94, $1.86 is a pretty darn good return for that amount. That's 2.5%. I can't complain earning 2.5%. So my first trade of the day is closed. I am up 2.5%. I am ready to redeploy this capital if I see an opportunity. That being said, I think today I'm holding on to my trade capital for a little bit and giving the market a chance to return some capital, rather than me just constantly plunging my money in and getting it tied. So with a little bit of good fortune, AI will continue to go up, and maybe I can catch this next close of 36.35. We'll wait and we'll see. 36.35 is what I'm looking for next. Let's flip over to shares of AMD. With AMD, we are seeing a opening bell and a slight uptick in value. With AMD, we're back up to 112.06, 112.09. I am looking for, on AMD, I'm looking for a close of 115.75. If we can go up to 115.75, I think I put that one on a little bit higher than 2.5%. Let me just check here. 112.29. $115.10 is what I put, or $115.10 is 2.5%. So yeah, so 115.75 is likely maybe 3%, somewhere around there. I'm gonna leave my shares of AMD on sell, hoping to catch a good day in AMD. I can see it's already off to a good start. It looks like it's blazing a trail upward. We'll see if that trend continues. We still have a ways to go with AMD. We've got $3 a share now from 112.75 to get to my sell limit. So I will go back to AI and see what's going on over here with AI. So I got my close at 33.80, and it's a good thing I didn't try to go higher because I see the absolute top of this morning was 33.89. So I was right in the ballpark of closing those shares. I don't think I'm gonna try to catch an early morning trade. That one that just closed was my early morning trade. And I think I'm going to hold with that win of $1.86. And I'm going to give the markets some time on purpose today in order to set themselves up, maybe over the first 45 minutes to an hour. And then I will come back and I will take a look at where things are and decide what I'm going to do, if anything, at that point. So stay tuned. There's a lot of day left to come. I will be back shortly, and we will continue this day to see where things go. All right, I just felt like coming back to do a quick check. We're at 7 o'clock in the morning. Just wanted to see which direction the markets were thinking about going today. Let's have a quick look. As you can see, it looks like there's a little bit of life left in AI today. Instead of seeing a typical decline in the morning, it looks like it is trying to make a play to start moving in an upward trajectory. We're already up to $34.23. It'll still be a while before we reach anywhere near the level where I'm expecting to close on AI. Additionally, shares of AMD look like they're on an upward trend as well. So I am just going to continue waiting things out a little bit. So far, so good. It's looking like it might be a recovery day, but again, it's still too early to tell. Like I said, this was just a very brief checkup. I'm going to let the markets be for a little bit longer, and I'll come back soon and we'll see which direction we are headed. All right, once again, I am back. And I'm having another look at the markets this morning at 7:30. We are now 1 hour into this Thursday morning's market. And I'm taking a different approach today. I'm not chomping at the bit to do trades. I'm taking some time to relax and watch what the market is doing while it's opening. So let's have a look today. Starting with shares of AI, we can now see that AI did go up. It reached a high of 34.52 and then is now dropped and now is starting to move sideways a little bit. Okay, so that is going on with AI today. We have a morning volume now of 4.5 million shares at 7:31. Now, you might remember yesterday when I was talking about volume, and we were like an hour, I'm sure that we were over an hour in, and there was like less than 500,000 shares of volume. And I told you, I said, I've seen mornings where there's 5 million shares within the first hour. Well, today is one of those days. As you can see, 7:32, and we are at 4.5 million shares. So there's a significant amount of volume on shares of AI today. Now, AI currently is plunging down again. We'll talk about that more in a second. Let's go to AMD. As you know, I'm also sitting on shares of AMD. I am in for 18 shares of AMD at $112.29 is what I purchased at. So as you can see, I am currently above the buy-in point on my shares of AMD. However, I'm waiting to see if AMD travels up so that I can close a position at a healthy, sizable profit today. I don't want to sell them down here where the market is dipped. Again, we can see AI started strong. It dove a bit. It reached a high today of 113.88 so far, and has now dwindled down, dwindled down, dwindled down. And again, we're at 7:30 in the morning. So I am going to continue waiting. I just wanted to check and update what was going on with the two companies that I currently have trades in. And I also want to talk just a little bit about, as you know, this morning I let 2 shares that I purchased yesterday of AI go. And as soon as I got my 2.5% gain on those shares, I let them go. Now let's go back for just a second and look at AI. You can see AI reached a peak of $34.52. So a fair question that you might be thinking is, why did I sell my shares of AI so fast instead of waiting to get even more money out of that trade position? Well, in the position that I'm in right now, when I have 100% of my trade capital in trades being held, I do not personally like being in that position. I'm attempting to regain more authority, more power, more control over my position by having trade capital at my disposal to deploy on good opportunities that I see. So, as much as I could have held those two shares in and maybe got even $34.52 instead of what I closed them at, which was $33.80. It is correct, I could have earned more on the trade, but I don't know which way the markets are going, especially if you've been watching the past few sessions. You know as well as I do, we are in a crazy, crazy time right now of volatility with the markets. So my focus right now is not so much on making money as it is on recovering capital. I need to rebalance my position with having trade capital in hand, and then I can go back to focused, dialed in multiplication, money-making mode. So that is currently the position that I'm sitting at right now. Just so that you know, if you're wondering what is going on in my mind. So with that being said, I want to revisit a couple of things that I am here waiting on. And that is, I still have shares of AI that I purchased yesterday as well. I purchased 100 shares at a cost of $35.46. And I'm actually hoping that AI will raise beyond that value today. However, I am waiting to sell those 100 shares at $36.35, which again will represent a 2.5% gain on that income. And it will also recover $3,635 of trade capital back into my account. Also, as well, my shares of AMD that I have purchased yesterday at $112.29. It would be nice if I can see $115.75 per share on those. Now, just so you know, that is a little bit more than 2.5% because I think I can get it with AI. That's more like 3%, I believe, that I have those shares set to for AMD. Now, let's go back to the markets. As I've been speaking and sharing with you, look at what is happening with shares of AI. We are on a free fall plunge again. And this is one of the reasons why I mentioned that I was waiting. Same thing with AMD. AMD is dropping again. We're going back down. And this is not abnormal activity. This is reasonable to consider at this time of day, 7:37. We're moving towards the 8:30 a.m., 8:30 to 9 a.m. is the points in the day where the markets seem to, in pattern, reach pretty much the lowest point of the day. And so, again, addressing the question. And so, again, addressing the question of why did I allow my two shares of AI to close at a 2.5% increase? Well, it was to have capital back. Now, if I see things level out and another opportunity, actually this opportunity might be here right now, 33.69. No, that is just a little bit, just slightly under what I sold at. I wonder if I can catch this play here. I see a green bar raising up. I wonder with that significant drop there, whether I can catch that. I'm going to set up the potential to purchase 2 shares of AI. And see if I can catch them on a bounce back up. It is still early. It is only 20 to 8 in the morning. Shares dropped from 34.11 down to 33.71. Okay, I'm going to go on record here and I'm going to let you know that right now I am so tempted to reinvest the money that I have into another purchase of AI, and I'm going to wait, okay? I just wanted to catch that on camera. I'm going to wait because it is 20 to 8. I'm going to stick with my initial plan. I don't know if this free fall has finished yet, is basically what I'm saying. So I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to wait until around 8:15, 8:30, which is another 35 to 55 minutes. And then I will come back and I will see where the markets are at. Either I missed a very good opportunity right now to repurchase 2 shares of AI, or I would have impulse bought, seeing that red sell-off, and bought in too soon and then watch shares continue to drop. We're going to see today which one of these options plays out. I will be back in a short little bit and we will see what happens as we move forward in the day. I'm back again. I just wanted to point something out that I just happened to notice as I was looking at what was going on. Look at what is going on here. I'm going to flip through several companies. I'm going to start with the S&P 500. And do you see this market pattern for the day so far? How it shot up and then started to dip and then took a steep drop right here. Well, look at this. Apple, same pattern. AI, same pattern. AMD, same pattern. Amazon, same pattern. Google, same pattern. Tesla, same pattern. Nvidia, same pattern. I wanted to catch this on camera. I just happened to notice this craziness. It's as if all of the companies, all of the biggest companies anyway, representing the New York Stock Exchange, S&P 500, it looks like they're all in tandem, all moving with the same rhythm. So that just confirmed to me that I'm not just watching AI today. I'm actually looking at the representation of what is happening across the entire market today. So again, I'm going to give things a little bit of time to settle down. Again, it's only 10 minutes to 8 in the morning. I'm going to wait and I'm going to watch for another opportunity on a turnaround and potentially get back in. But right now, I just feel is just slightly a little bit too early. I hope I'm on point. We're going to see pretty soon. Stay tuned. All right, I am back. We are at almost 8:15 in the morning. Time to have another look at the market. And here we go. Here are shares of AI, but you know what? I'm going to go back to the S&P 500. And like I stated earlier, I noticed that all of the largest companies in my watch list, as well as the S&P 500 itself, they're following and demonstrating a certain pattern. As we can see here, it went up, it dwindled down, and then it bounced back up a little bit and then came back down, and now is on an upward trend again. And so when I look at AI and I see similar behavior, up and then down, bounce, up and then down, and then back up again, I'm still waiting to see if there is an opportunity for me to take the small amount of capital that I have, which is $85.40 US, which will allow me to purchase 2 shares of AI at some point, if I so choose. I'm waiting to see an opportunity to deploy that back into the market. Now, after seeing this hit the bottom, bounce back up, hit the bottom, and bounce back up, I certainly don't want to deploy my capital here. We're on an upward trend and possibly a potential peak here. So I think I may have just showed up a little bit too early. Now, the only one that seems to be breaking trend in this pattern that I'm seeing on the S&P 500 with the double bottom is AMD. AMD seems like it had one bounce, but then continued to bounce down heavy again, down to 111, and right now it's struggling just to come back up at 111.38. So AMD, that's fine. I'm waiting on that. I'm looking at AI, looking at the S&P 500. And like I said, I'm looking for an opportunity to potentially put the small amount of capital that I do have on hand into the market at some point today in order to make a return. And traditionally, from what I've seen over the past month or two, is that some of the best times to buy for the long day play is right around 8:15, anywhere between 8:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. There's a whole 30 to 45 minutes to an hour in that zone in order to deploy capital at a low with the expectation that the market may rally up slowly during the remainder of the day and you can close at a profit. I'm looking for a similar pattern today in today's market and waiting to see if today is going to follow suit with that normal pattern in order to potentially deploy my capital and see if I can get myself again into 2 shares of AI for the day and see if I can make a little bit of money at least while I'm waiting for recovery until I begin closing some trades where I have values higher than what we're currently looking at. Now, at this point, it's likely possible that I may have already missed the bottom for the day, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I do anything. And I'm going to see, because right here, right now, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to jump in anyway, especially if we're going to see a repeat of this bounce up and down. If we're going to continue to go sideways here for a little bit, then of course, I want to wait for a downward swing, and then I will consider deploying my capital. So stay tuned for just a little bit. I'm going to keep my eyes on things very closely during the next 30 minutes here, and we will see what happens. All right, we are continuing to check in with what is going on in the markets. It is 22 minutes after 8 in the morning. Let us have a look. I've been patiently waiting and watching. I've been flipping back and forth with the S&P. As we can see, the S&P, I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. It looks like a steady progression and a trend down. And if this decides to keep going this direction for the remainder of the day, well, the market can tend to do that once in a while. It can be just a kind of a day where it just begins to head down in general. And I really do not prefer having money being held at this point, especially when I have no capital left to play with. I do not want money held if the market is going to trend down. So, considering the fact that we are entering that time window where we are likely to see the lowest point of the day, I have to make a decision now. So I'm looking at what is going on with the S&P 500. There's no indication that things are going to turn around. However, we cannot really predict or see the future. It's very, very easy looking at these charts in hindsight. You know, if we want to go back to yesterday and see how things went, you can see yesterday things opened in the morning with a pretty significant sell-off, and then, like I said, right around this time, 8:30 yesterday, it looks like the lowest point of the day was actually between 8:45 and 9 a.m. So this may explain why I'm a little bit hesitant here, looking at the clock and seeing 8:24. You know, it's looking like there might be another 15 minutes to potentially wait. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to buy 2 shares of AI. If we haven't hit the lowest point of the day, that's fine, but we're close. So, oh, and look at that heavy volume there. Look at that. That was 26,000 shares that came in on a buy there. So, like I said, I did purchase 2 shares. I redeployed my small amount of capital. I put it back into 2 shares at $33.63. Okay, so $33.63. Now, as you can see here, while I have this window open, one of the things you may notice here, if you're paying attention, is I really wanted to catch my buy-in lower than the last point that I sold the shares at, which was $33.80. $33.63 is lower than $33.80, but I was hoping to catch it even lower. As you can see, if I had waited it out, I could have maybe got $33.50 or below. But I've made my decision now, and so I'm into the market, 2 shares at $33.63. Now, at this point, I have made my move for the day because everything else that I have is currently in waiting. So we are at 8:27 a.m. I've deployed into 2 shares of AI, and this is pretty much for the day now. I am going to now leave everything alone. I'm going to leave the markets alone. I'm going to leave my purchase alone. And I'm not even going to put a sell limit on those 2 shares that I bought. I'm going to leave them free riding. And I'm going to come back later in the day in order to see how this day has moved and where things stand. So I'm going to take a break, enjoy some exercise, and I will see you in another hour or 2. And we will see how this day plays out. Stay tuned. I will update you shortly. All right, it is time to come back to the markets and check what is going on. We are at 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, August 10th. And let's see what's going on today in the market. All right, there are some things. It looks like there's some things to talk about. First of all, I can see that, as I suspected, I was early on catching the low point of the day. I bought 2 shares of AI at $33.63, which is, if I recall correctly, was somewhere right back here somewhere, right in this zone. And even at the time, I knew I was early. I was at 8:15 to 8:20 a.m. And again, I can see clearly here that the low point of the day was right between 8:45 and 9 a.m. So that is 2 days in a row now that I've seen that. I'm going to remember that moving forward. So unfortunately, my share value depreciated all the way down to a low of $33.02, it looks like. So I could have definitely got a lot better of a deal on those. And checking AMD, similar behavior with AMD, the low of the day between 8:45 and 9 a.m. with share values down as low as 109.81. We've gone up, we've come back down a little bit, and looks like we might be turning around here around 110.59. And with AI, maybe $33.32. So, my new plan of action. What I'm seeing here today is that the markets are alive again. I am seeing what is called volatility, ups, downs, and everything in between. Unlike previous days where the market was basically doing nothing and just kind of moving sideways straight, now I can see that there is volatility back in the markets, and with volatility comes opportunity to make money in trading. So I think that the first order of business for me is to sit here patiently and keep an eye on the market. I had a high buy-in with both of my positions currently, with both AI and AMD. I am going to be sitting here patiently looking for exit points now that I have seen both companies demonstrate to me how low that they are willing to go. And in AI's case, they are willing to go down as low as $33.02. And in AMD's case, it is willing to go down as low as 109.81. I'm going to use those as new markers mentally to keep an idea on where to buy in and where to sell shares. The high for AMD today was 113.89. And my buy-in point was 112.29. So, like I mentioned, I'm going to be sitting here patiently watching for an opportunity to sell my position of AMD at a profit, as well as AI at a profit. And then I'm going to try to be patient and try to catch some more of the lows throughout the day to see if I can get a better buy-in, put the same amount of money into the same amount of shares, but at a lower buy-in point, so that I can see if I can capitalize more on the volatility that I'm seeing demonstrated in both of these companies today. So that is my current plan of action, and that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sitting here actively now watching on camera. And as we go throughout the day, I will just edit the video in post in between the periods where there's nothing going on, and just kind of jump from here to the future magically and see where I'm getting out of my next trade. So stay tuned, stick around. I'm about to begin having some fun. Okay, so looking at the market, I can see clearly that the lowest point of the morning was not 8:45 a.m. today, but it was actually later this morning. The market did hit a low at 8:45, then went up kind of like a half measure, and then dropped all the way down again, breaking the previous low and coming all the way down to $32.72 again. So what I'm getting set up to do right now is, I saw this upward movement here, we're back up to $33.33. And what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for an opportunity to get myself out of these two shares that I purchased earlier this morning at $33.63. And I'm just looking for 2 cents on the share just to break even. I'm looking to potentially close these shares out at $33.65 and recover the capital, because there is a lot of bottom left to go on this share valuation, and I am not going to hold these shares at $33.63 when I can get them potentially as low or lower than $32.72. So I'm sitting here with a limit sell order ready to go. I do not want to confirm the order just because the speed at which I saw the share value come back up may indicate that I want to sit on it I'll see as the seconds tick by here whether I'm going to change this to a confirmation or not. But the main idea is to recover my capital at this point before we start seeing another downward trend, which is clearly being demonstrated today. Again, we went up, but then we came down, did some sideways. We're trending down. I can see this peak line up here and this peak line here. And it's hard to say. We may reach this line again here. We may not. But in any case, the high points are getting lower. The low points are getting lower. And that is an indication of a downward trend. I do not want to be holding on to a share value that's caught near the top in a downward trend. Moving over to AMD. AMD is demonstrating a similar pattern as well. Again, dropped and hit a low at 845, went up a little bit, and then continued to drop and hit a new low of 109.48 right around just before 11 a.m. And we are currently at 11:19. So again, with shares of AMD, I will sit here and I will look for a close at or above 112.30, and I will just recover my capital and then take a moment to redeploy. I'll take some time to redeploy when I see better valuations to buy in. All right, so as I've been sitting here, I have not observed any breakout run at all in these shares. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to confirm this sell order at $33.65. I'm going to wait for this sell order to close. It looks like it might hit it today before the end of the day. And I really don't care at this point whether it shoots past $33.65. I'm not looking for a profit on this trade. I'm looking for a good break even. And I am going to just hold the capital in my trading account. It's doing me better there, holding in reserve for a better opportunity, than it is tied up in this ridiculous trade here. So once that value reaches $33.65 some point in this afternoon, within the next hour and 10 minutes, I will have that trade capital back, and then I will reassess what I do with that capital, either at the end of the day, if there's a significant drop, or tomorrow morning after market bell opens. I will be looking to do the same thing with AMD as AMD recovers and moves back up to my entry price of $112.29. Still got quite a ways to go before it reaches that. But again, I'm going to look to break even or just a little bit better on my position in AMD, and then wait for a better opportunity to redeploy that capital at a better valuation. I'm seeing I could get it down as low as 109.50. And yesterday, yeah, 109.50 looks like the low point for AMD. And then with shares of AI, we don't know for sure, but today's low point looks like 32.72. So I will keep those figures in mind moving forward. So for now, that is the end of what my plan is today. I will still give the markets time to reach that sell order and close that back to me. And I will do a final check-in at the end of the day. In the meantime, I'm not expecting a lot to occur over the next hour. It has taken so long just for shares of AI to work its way up to $33.48, and then it started slipping down again, and now we're down to $33.30 already. So check in at the end of the day. In the meantime, thanks for hanging around. I will talk to you soon. All right, as we approach the end of the day here, it looks like we are making a last-ditch effort run on the way up, or maybe not. at just under 20 minutes left in the day. Man, am I even going to get out of my trade today, even at a break-even cost? This is going to be a very, very close call. Now, if I don't get out of my trade today, that's fine. I'll hold on to them tomorrow. It's only 2 shares anyway. I don't prefer holding on to my trades overnight. I want to break this habit. And I want to become in the habit of holding all of my trades closed, cash in hand, in my active balance, ready to go at each morning opening bell to take each day as it is. I don't like holding trades overnight, even though sometimes it pays off, but it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter to me. I prefer having my capital in my account. So today is another day where currently I have 100% of my available trade capital currently held in trades in the market. Am I concerned about this? Maybe 10%. 90%, I'm not concerned whatsoever. I know that eventually all the money comes back. It's just a question of when it comes back. Understandably, I do this for a living now. I'm going to need to make a certain amount of money per month in order to sustain myself as an independent trader and a free man working for nobody but myself. So there is a minimum income that I have to make per month. This whole week has been bad. I don't think I'm over the $100 mark for the week. Nope, only $1.86 that I made today. So I'm still trying to crack the $100 mark for this whole week. I wonder if I'll be able to do it tomorrow. You're going to have to stay tuned and see with me in session 11 tomorrow. We'll see how Friday goes. Also, Friday is my financial update day, so I will be sharing my whole finances throughout the week, comparing last Friday's close and tomorrow's close in order to keep track of where I'm at, where I'm going, where I'm heading. Now, one thing I do want to point out today about what I've observed in the market is, despite whether I get out of my trade or not, here is yesterday's chart. Yesterday, when we opened up here and slid all the way down, yesterday was a bad day, bumped up and then came all the way back down again by the end of the day. At least today looks like it has inched in an upward direction. Again, we do have a low that exceeds one of yesterday's lows, but at the same time did not make it down to this preceding low of yesterday of 32.43. Today's lowest of the low was 32.72, which again, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does indicate that we did not drop as low today throughout the day as we did yesterday. And to me, that is a good sign to pay attention to. That gives me a little bit of hope that we may perhaps have reached the bottom of this cycle. And as you can see, if I pull back, this cycle was quite a drop. How far? Let's go back 5 days. Yeah, 5 days. The past 5 days, we saw a high of $44.88 last Tuesday, August 1st, and the market has just been in a tumbling freefall ever since, right all the way down to this valuation of $32.38. So I am expecting to have a lot of fun as I catch the cycle back up. And one of the things that I'm working on doing here, as I mentioned in a previous session, is I am intending to see if I can compound my gains on the way up. When I see volatility like this in the day, it simply indicates to me, now you have to understand that today is not a regular day. We do not normally see the lowest of the low points in the day at 10:45 in the morning. That normally happens around 8:45 to 9 a.m. 10:30 to 10:45, that is another low point in the day, but typically it doesn't drop down as low as it does in 8:45 to 9 o'clock. But in today's case, it did. So clearly, the best time of the day that I could have deployed my capital to pick up 2 shares would be right around 10:30 to 10:45 a.m. I will keep this in mind for tomorrow on Friday. And had I deployed right around here at 32.70, I could have at least came out with what looks like almost 80 cents per share. And I could have sold at one of these peaks here near the end of the day. 80 cents per share I will gladly take rather than not even being able to break even throughout the course of the day. So again, one of the reasons to stay tuned and follow this series is you are seeing me at my worst right now. And if you stick around, you will have the benefit of seeing me working at my best. Because with each day that I do this, and with each day that I trade, and with each day that I record and reflect back on the content that I'm creating, I will tweak and make little adjustments to my behavior, and I will become more and more and more astute and effective in the buy-ins and the sell points that I'm making throughout each day. Again, had I bought here and tried to hold on for an all-day play, that didn't work today. It did go up till about 9:45, and then it started to plummet again. So I could have bought in at the low point at 8:45, sold about an hour later in order to catch a profit, and then waited out on a downward trend again, bought in down here and made some more money throughout the day here. But I didn't do that today. I spent another day away from the computer screen and doing other things. So I wasn't even really here paying a lot of attention until this afternoon, after 11 o'clock, 11:15. So, that being said, what time are we at? We are at 12:50. It looks like I am going to be holding these trades overnight. It did try to make a last-minute run and didn't even pass the $33.46 mark. Even with these heavy volumes coming in at the end of the day, still wasn't quite able to make it. We do have 10 minutes left in the day, but again, are we going to go up 40 cents? Not very likely. It can happen, but I'm not holding my breath that that will happen. If it does, my sell limit order will close, and I can update you with that later on in the day anyway. So I am going to call it a day today. Thank you very much for hanging around and bearing through this time with me. Thank you for liking these videos and subscribing to this channel. It really helps me with a brand new channel. I want to slowly and surely provide content that helps people take better control of their lives and create better lives for themselves, for yourself as well. My mission in life is very simple: to assist you in creating the life that you desire to have. My name is Edward James Carey. This has been my $1 million journey, and this has been session 10 today. We are at 10 sessions so far. I look forward to being back here bright and early tomorrow for session 11. It's a Friday. I get to update everything at the end of the day. And you can follow along with me on that session right over here.